everybody, Eric here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're going okay. Today, I finally get the chance to talk about The Legend of Dragoon, which is one of my favorite JRPGs of all time. It's a really great and timeless game. Now, Sony just announced that it's going to be added to their premium tier for PS Plus at the end of February here. And here's why it's a big deal. The Legend of Dragoon has been a really popular game among JRPG fans since its release in North America in the year of 2000. Is it a perfect game? No. I mean, it was Sony's attempt at making a Final Fantasy killer of sorts, and a lot of people loved it and still do. Me included. I think it's great. I played it back in the day, but didn't get super far until a recent playthrough where I completed it on my handy-dandy PSP Go. But I always loved the exposition and just the general vibe of the game. The story starts pretty basic. The main character, Dart, is trying to help somebody, and then in typical JRPG fashion, he gets thrown into a world-ending scenario. And of course, along the way, he realizes he's got special powers and then meets other people with the same special powers, and they all band together and take on the evil of the world. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but it is a really cool game, and it does have some really dark twists and turns throughout the story, which is really interesting. It's not the most amazing JRPG story you'll ever experience, but it's certainly got a unique take on that classic JRPG story formula, and I really like it, and I found it incredibly engaging from the moment that I turned the game on, right all the way up until the end. It's a really great story. It hooks you right away, and you get actually quite emotionally attached to these characters throughout their journey. Back on the PlayStation 1, where this game spanned 4 discs, the turn-based combat was really cool with timed hits. The music was pretty memorable, and the game's graphics were great with use of pre-rendered backgrounds, giving it that distinct PlayStation 1 style that you can either really appreciate now or just look at it and think it's ugly as heck. I personally like it. Yes, some of the battle animations look a bit unsavory. And I'm pretty sure the developers literally threw a dart at a wall full of names naming the characters. I mean, Lavitz? Who the heck names a character Lavitz? Not that it really matters anyway. The PlayStation Plus version claims to have up-rendering, which probably upscaling of some sort. I assume you could probably play the game a widescreen now. Quick save, which is like a save state feature, and of course some custom video filters. So you probably get something like CRT filters or whatever, which is pretty cool. So some light quality of life enhancements and features for Legend of Dragoon, for new players and old players alike. If you haven't played it before, you don't have to worry about it having that classic JRPG grind because it's not an overly hard game, and I don't really remember having to grind that much or if at all. But I suppose with some bosses, it might be handy to have some save state features like right before the boss, so yeah, might be cool. I will say though that The Legend of Dragoon has a real charm about it that reminds us of a time when PS1 was king of the JRPG. Lots of people love this game, and even though it wasn't like a massive commercial success, I mean, in the US it sold about 1 million copies or just under, and close to like 330,000 in Japan. You can't deny the cult following it has though, and it's so great to see it back in the limelight. Perhaps this can give us hope for a sequel because it was in development at one point. I mean, it was popular enough to get a line of toys from the game, which is really cool, and are nowadays super pricey if you can even find them. So there you go. Have you played Legend of Dragoon? It's one of the most timeless games from the PS1 library, especially if you're a massive JRPG fan like I am. So I highly recommend you check it out if you are a newcomer to this series. And if you played it before like me, are you making the jump to PS Plus? Out of everything that's been on PlayStation Plus over the last few years, I feel like the only thing that's going to drag me in and get me to subscribe would be The Legend of Dragoon, purely because I want to show my support for that game, because you never know. There might be a chance for a remake or a proper remaster. I know Bluepoint was in discussion of a remake or a remaster a few years ago, and that rumor got canned, but there's always that hope or the what if. So if you guys like JRPGs and you want to support Sony and you want to support The Legend of Dragoon, now is the time. They might be looking really closely at the numbers of people who pick this up and play this game. So there's so much fun to entertain, fun ideas to entertain about this coming to PS5 now and being more accessible by literally millions of people. So if you haven't played it, please go check it out. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up and a subscribe. If you haven't already, leave a comment down below. Of course, I read and reply to everything. And I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you again on the next video. Take care.